Hey guys, it's Jeremy with Talking Umbrella Travel, here to talk about an awesome opportunity for your family, but we're going to talk about that later in our conversation. But right now, I want to introduce you to Bridgette Kitchens. Bridgette is a Talking Umbrella family member. She's been on many trips with our company. She took part in our Framily Vacation, July of last year, and also our sponsor dog, Cash Money, is in here with me today. So you see him kind of moseying on around back there. He's just hanging out today, learning about Disney as well. But I asked Bridgette to come on, and I talk about Disney with you guys all the time. I talk about Disney cruises with you guys all the time. I wanted you to hear from someone who wasn't me about how amazing these things are. So we took a large number of people last July on the Disney Wish for a 4-day Bahamian cruise. And I wanted Bridgette to kind of tell you a little bit about her history with cruising, a little bit about, did she enjoy Disney? Does she prefer another cruise line? Things like that. So Bridgette, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us tonight.
My pleasure.
So the Framily, again, Framily is friends and family. The Framily Vacation that we all took together last July, was that your first cruise?
Oh, no.
What other cruises had you been on?
In general, like across the board. Okay, so the very first cruise I went on went out of New Orleans, and that was one of the Carnival cruises. Probably the cheapest one, first cruise I'd ever been on, wanting to see if I liked it. And it was fun for the purposes. It was a girls' trip, so for that purpose, it was great fun. Never been on a cruise, so it really didn't have anything to compare it to. Then I went on another cruise with my husband for our honeymoon. Again, Carnival, but we went on a little higher level ship and enjoyed it a lot more. And then we graduated from Carnival and started on Royal Caribbean, and loved their ships. But it wasn't until we took my daughter on a cruise for her 10th birthday that that's not true. We went on another cruise, a separate cruise and it was on the Magic with Abby and Kelly Morse. So
This wasn't so our Framily Vacation wasn't your first Disney cruise experience.
No.
So you've been on 3 of the ships, as you just mentioned. You went on the Magic. You've been on the Disney Wish, and you also went on the Disney Dream. So, do you prefer Disney cruise to the other cruise lines? And why, if you do, why? If you don't, why not?
Oh, hands down, I prefer Disney cruises. The service would probably be my number one reason. The service is impeccable. There's never a no for a question that you have on a Disney cruise. If they don't know the answer, they'll find out and get back with you. If you think that they don't have something, you need to ask. And usually they have everything. The service, the cleanliness of the ships, by far, it's a Disney cruise, so everything is going to be top notch. But the cleanliness for me is huge. That's what I found with some of the other ships, is they just weren't up to my standards of clean. The shows, I mean, I could just name a list of 10, 15 things why Disney cruises are the best. It's just for the money that you pay, they're more expensive, but I always say you pay for what you get. So it's by far the best cruise we've ever been on.
So, talk a little bit more for me about the service that you felt like you experienced on the Disney cruise, because for someone who's only ever cruised Disney, I just assume that's what it's like. So, talk a little bit more about the Disney level of service on the Wish, the Dream, and the Magic.
Well, the first trip we went with someone who was in a wheelchair, who's handicapped, and it was fully handicap accessible. It was great. There were some things when we got off the ship that weren't, but for the most part, the Disney cruise was. The second trip we went on, we took my, as I said, my 10-year-old daughter, and they catered to her every whim. They cut up her food for her. They entertained her during meals. It was just phenomenal. They put things in our cabin that was, I felt like they went above and beyond. I later found out that's just Disney service. And so,
Right, right.
yeah, so it was, they just, all the staff on the ships make the trip a dream. They really do.
And one thing that I think is unique amongst Disney Cruise Lines is your serving team stays with you the entire time. So Disney does what's called rotational dining. And so as you rotate through your ship and you eat at a different restaurant every night, you have the opportunity to experience different foods, but you still keep that same wait staff. And if that wait staff knows you like something, you're going to have that every time until you tell them, no, thank you. I'm good now. So if you love Mickey ice cream bars, they're going to offer you a Mickey ice cream bar for dessert on your Disney Cruise Lines. If you're a Diet Coke drinker, they're going to make sure a Diet Coke is waiting for you when you're there. Your stewards in your cabin, they learn your likes and your dislikes. They make the bed for you. They pull down the trundle bed for the kids before night gets there. They put the chocolate on the pillow. They make the towel animals. All the things that you see on the more popular cruise lines, you're going to get that on Disney, plus about 1,500% more. So while I don't know if you had a chance to experience this yet. Did you do, or did your kids, or did you see the kids clubs at all while you were on the ship?
I did. In fact, of course, when we went last year, it was a brand new ship. And so my sister had little ones. And so we walked down with her immediately to check out the kids clubs. Wow. Wow. They were entertaining from the moment we stepped foot on the boat until we left. And I was so impressed with the safety, the cleanliness. Again, that's really important. And just the way they really put in place people who have a love for kids, because those guys and gals who were in those kids clubs, they were serious about kids, not just the entertaining, but taking care of them. And so I was impressed with that.
Yeah. And, not only do you have highly trained men and women who are working with the kids who are doing great jobs, they're surrounded by Disney. And so maybe you're flying the Millennium Falcon. Maybe you're making a superhero suit. Maybe you are dressing up like a princess. Maybe you're sliding down Slinky Dog in Andy's room. Every Disney ship caters to those little kids. However, let me ask you this. I don't have little kids anymore. You don't have little kids anymore. Did it feel like as an adult that it was a lot of times I get told it's a kid's cruise line. Do you feel like Disney is a kid's cruise line?
No. We you can do as much of adulting as you choose. There were all sorts of places. In fact, last year when we went, I had my older daughter, and we went to what's the Star Wars bar there.
Hyperspace.
Oh my goodness. The technology in that thing was phenomenal. And of course, we got to go in and we got the drink of the day, whatever that was, where it's the little smoke and you pop the bubble and the smoke comes out. It's super cool. Just things like that. They cater just as much to adults as they do children. So adults can have just as much fun as kiddos can on a Disney cruise.
And there's also on every ship, there's dedicated adult space. On the Dream and the Wish and the Fantasy, it's towards the front of the ship, and on the Wonder and on the Magic, there is adult areas where you're not gonna see those kids running around. Are there kids things to do? Absolutely, but there is so much for adults to do on Disney cruises that my wife and I have gone on a Disney cruise, just us, from Broadway style shows to the current Disney company movie that's playing in theaters right now is also playing on those ships. So I remember when we went, my son and another person in the trip went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right there on the ship in a midnight showing, and enjoyed that because it was just such a unique thing to get to do. So, if you're on the Bahamian cruises, and we've both done those, there is Castaway Key. Everybody talks about Disney's private island. Did you guys? I know we got off the ship and experienced the private island. Did you guys get off at Castaway as well?
We did. We did the 5K. Super hot, but it was worth it. It's just fun to see the island. I loved to be able to see what was there. Then we went to the beach and we stayed there. You get to walk around and see everything that's there. There's an adult section also on the beach that's where we immediately went to, thanks to our wonderful guide who told us about that. So we just kind of floated in the water and relaxed for the afternoon. It was great. Another thing you said about the boat though that I remembered, I guess it was probably the last day, maybe the last 2 days. We ended up on the back of the ship, or maybe it was the front of the ship because it was the adult section, and we discovered a coffee shop that we didn't even know was there. So we ended up going to the coffee shop more the last 24 hours than we did the whole rest of the trip because we didn't even know it was there. And we met with some other family members and we played cards and games up there. So we had a lot of fun up there too. There's so much to see and to do. You don't even realize the ship is huge.
Right, right.
They all are, but the one
The
from last year was really big.
the Wish and the currently being created Treasure are the biggest ships in the fleet, and then there's the Fantasy and the Dream, who are the next biggest, and then of course the smallest in the original ships, the Magic and the Wonder. I really only have one more question for you, and it's about the idea of you were part of the inaugural Talking Umbrella Travel Framily cruise. Uh, Tell me your experience cruising with a large group. I mean, and it was 3 tables full of people, and I mean like long tables. I want to say it was 40 people who all decided, hey, we're going to go travel together. So, tell me a little bit about how that was for you guys.
Well, in my old age, I've become an introvert. So at first I wasn't really sure about it. I was like, but Bridget, it's a big ship. I mean, you could kind of get lost, quote unquote, but it was so much fun. I will go every year. Health willing, I will go every year. The disco at night, the silent disco was by far my favorite. Watching people dance and sing with the headphones on, and
Yeah, you gotta tell us some more. What is the silent disco?
Goodness. So the silent disco is you have these headphones on and there are 2 channels and you can flip back and forth between the channels. So if you have your channel on Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, the other channel may be, I don't know, Sweet Home Alabama. And if you're singing Living on a Prayer, you can be guaranteed that about half the club or whatever you want to call it, half the place in there will be singing Living on a Prayer, but the other half is going to be singing Sweet Home Alabama. And so anyway, you catch yourself talking to your people and laughing at them because when you take your headphones off, there's no music. It's only in your headphones. And so that was a hoot. And everybody participated. Everybody did. And so it was just fun to be able to sit and giggle with each other about just the crowd, just watching people watching. It was just so much fun. And the shows, the shows.
There were people that cruise with us, and they said that they're going to go again just to do silent disco.
Yes,
I said absolutely. So you mentioned the shows. You mentioned those Broadway style shows. A lot of times you go on cruise lines and the shows are kind of cheesy. And tell me about what your opinions on these Disney shows every evening. So what happens, just for folks who never traveled before, there's 2 seatings for dinner. There's around 5 and around 8. And while you're eating dinner, there's a show going on. And then while the other folks are at the show, it flip flops. So if you're 5 o'clock, you go to the late show. If you do the early show, you go to the late dinner. And so it's really a unique way of getting everybody a prime seat in the Walt Disney Theater. So Tell the folks just a little bit about the shows you've seen, just the quality of the shows you've seen compared to other cruise lines.
Oh, it's Broadway quality. I've never, the talent that they have on the ships to play the parts are incredible. Their voices, just the acting ability. It's just, you don't find that on any other ship, I don't feel like. It's just 5 stars. Everything on a Disney cruise is 5 stars.
Yeah, I have, we all have our likes and dislikes as we go through a cruise, or we go through anything that we do. But my family has said numerous times, we love Disney World, we really love Disneyland, but we have fallen in love with Disney Cruise. And I think my family, if you gave them the choice of those three, they would probably take Disney Cruise every time.
Yeah.
And and rightly so. I've always felt taken care of. Um, it's still that Disney bubble. Some people choose to get off in Nassau and go explore the Bahamas. I tend to stay on the ship because people get off and I have the ship to myself, and I get to stay in that Disney bubble. But it makes everything just that much better. I can't compare it to other cruise lines, and so that's why I ask folks like you to compare it, just so we know that it's not just Jeremy espousing Disney all the time, because I want to make sure people understand that it is a fun time. It really, really is a fun time. So at some point, I'm going to get a chance to talk to your sister, and she and I are going to probably have to spend the entire time talking about food.
Yeah.
But I do want to give you a minute just to take a second to compare Disney level food on the cruise lines with other cruise lines you've had, because I know you're a foodie when it comes to cruise lines.
Oh, I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie anywhere. But aren't we all in South Louisiana, right? We all are foodies. I've been called a food snob lots by my family. It's just one of those things. When you're from South Louisiana, that's what you want to know about. You want to know, what's the food going to be like? It doesn't matter where you go. But I have been on some cruises where the food was, it's like, okay, it's edible, so let's just get through the food part. It's edible. But Disney cruise ships really have it going on with the food. I will tell you, by far, of course, our favorite parts part of the food is eating at the specialty restaurants. We really got a treat. We treated ourselves, which, we like to do. And we went to, was it Lumiere's?
Remy's? Wait, I gotta remember. Enchante.
Enchante. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it.
I said that wrong, by the way, but keep going.
Enchante.
Keep going.
It sounded great. Anyway, it sounded like you knew what you were saying. So I just went with it. Michelin star chef, first of all. I'd never eaten Michelin star food, ever. I see now what the fuss is about. It is art when they bring it to you, first of all. Like, there was a lemon. I'm sure Randy will talk to you about this as well. We had a dessert one night that literally, honest to goodness, I thought it was a lemon. And when they brought it out, I'm like, why did they bring us out a lemon? This is the craziest. I'm not going to eat a lemon. You cracked it. It was white chocolate that was made to look like a lemon. And when you cracked it open, it was like this lemon mousse, but it was a lemon mousse that you had never tasted before. It was so fabulous. I mean, it was just so good. But every single course, I don't remember how many courses we had. Randy will remember for sure. But I want to say maybe 7, maybe 7.
Wow.
It was just phenomenal. And of course, you dressed up to go in this place. Like, it was one of the nice, it was just elegant and beautiful. And it just, when you walked in, it made you feel like a princess or a queen. And so we ate there. Did we eat there once? We ate there once.
Yeah, and y'all also ate at Paolo's. Paolo's is a favorite of ours. We love the Paolo brunch. Again, just a fantastic opportunity to enjoy something a little extra. Now, there is an added cost for folks who've never cruised before. For those 2 specialty restaurants, and any specialty restaurant on Disney Cruise Lines, those 2 have an added cost. All the other restaurants, the rotational dining restaurants, those are included in the cost. Marceline Market on the Wish is the kind of the buffet. It's included in your price. Very few things on the Disney Cruise Line are not included in that price that you get. And of course, if you decide to book with Talking Umbrella Travel, we'll walk you through that so you're not surprised by any added cost. Well, Bridgette, thank you so much for taking a minute to use this time to tell us how amazing the Disney Cruise Line was. I really, really, really appreciate your time.
Oh, this was fun. Can't wait till next year.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thank you so much, Bridgette.
All right. Good night.
Well, guys, once again, that was Bridgette Kitchens, a member of the Framily Disney cruise that we took last year in 2023. And we want to take a moment and we want to invite you. That's right, you. We want to invite you to join us in 2025 as we go on our second Talking Umbrella Travel Framily Vacation. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing as we cruise the high seas. It's going to be a 5-day cruise. We're going to be traveling aboard the Disney Magic, and the dates of that cruise are going to be June 13th through the 18th, 2025. Again, that's June 13th through the 18th, 2025, aboard the Disney Magic, one of the original Disney Cruise Line ships. We are very excited. The reason that we chose this particular cruise was one, we wanted something that you could get quickly to Port Canaveral. So it's going to go out of Port Canaveral, and it's going to start there on day 1. On day 2, you will wake up at Castaway Cay, Disney's original private island, adult area, kids area, water slide, all the things, cookies, barbecue, soft serve ice cream, fresh fruit, all the things you could possibly want to do and explore are going to be right there for you on Castaway Cay. And then the next morning, you're going to wake up in Nassau, in the beautiful Bahamas, and you can get off of the ship there and explore this beautiful old town, or you can do like we do and stay right on that ship and try and eat as many soft serve ice cream cones as you can, which is what we usually try to do. And then the reason that we chose this specific cruise is that on day 4, we will wake up and we will be at Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is the newest Disney private area. It is at Lighthouse Point. It's still in the Bahamas, but it's going to be a place that we've never visited before, and we want you to go with us to see that. And then finally on day 5, you get to spend an entire day at sea aboard the Disney Magic, seeing all the things that you can see aboard that beautiful, beautiful ship. And then, of course, we'll come home on day 6. Some things on the Disney Magic we want to tell you about. First of all, one of the shows is called Tangled the Musical. So if you're a Tangled fan, like my daughter is, you're going to love Tangled the Musical. Also, there are 3 rotational dining restaurants. There is Animator's Palette, one of the original Disney rotational dining restaurants. The restaurant goes from black and white to color as you travel throughout the courses. And then there's also a restaurant called Lumiere's, French-style cuisine, an awesome, awesome experience there for your family. And then finally, there's also a restaurant called Rapunzel's Royal Table. It's a meal brought to you by who else but Princess Rapunzel. And then also, if you like the specialty dining, as Bridgette talked about just a little while ago, that's going to be at Paolo. So there's 1 specialty restaurant aboard this ship as opposed to 2 on the other class of ships. Now, this is a smaller ship. It's going to carry less people, which means less crowds. Still has the same shows, still has the amazing level of service. It is set up like a classic ocean steamliner from the 1920s and 1930s. So again, we really want you to come with us, and we want you to experience a Talking Umbrella Travel Framily Vacation. Again, that's June 13th through the 18th, 2025, aboard the beautiful Disney Magic with us, Talking Umbrella Travel. But maybe you use another agent that's part of our company. Maybe you use Jessica at My Talking Umbrella, or maybe you use Megan at Winking Hippo Travel, or maybe you use Jordan at Castleco. I got it. Castleco Travel, or Todd at Perfect Destination Travels. We want you to reach out to those agents because they can help you be a part of the Framily Vacation as well. So from Jeremy and Todd and Megan and Jordan and Jessica, please reach out to us today and ask us how you can join the Talking Umbrella Travel Framily Vacation. If you want to reach out to me, my email is talkingumbrallatravel@gmail.com. From all of us with the Talking Umbrella family, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you on the Framily Vacation.